Good. What's going on, y'all? It's your guy, Dope the Phenom, aka Trippy OG. A new series here on the Knick and 30 page, Fan to Fan Talk. And right now, I got special guest Pamala Williams. Pamala, how you doing today? How you doing?
I'm doing good, beloved, and you?
I'm doing great. I see you out here, Knick scared in the
Mhm.
back. I need to get like you. You got the fire brim on, and you got the orange brim. I see you. I see you. But
Yeah,
overall,
a little bedazzling to it.
yeah, that's a fact. That's a patch that you added to it.
No, I put rhinestones on it. You see it?
Oh, now I see it. Matter of fact, bring it closer. Bring it closer for the people, so everybody can really see that.
You see this one?
You do these to all your hats?
I do.
Nah, you need to sell one of those. I'm gonna have to get one. Yeah, yeah, she blinged them out for real. And you got the camouflage one too. See, that's what you call a Knick fan right there. She said, I gotta sparkle it up. Like I got mine. I'm looking like, okay, I just got regular patches. I ain't got nothing on you right now. I don't got nothing on you, man. Before we get started, how long have you been a Knick fan? You know, what really made you become a Knick fan? And how do you like this team today after all the heartache we went through for years?
So I've been a Knick fan all my life, but I really got into the Knicks when we had Oakley and Mason and Ewing. Uh, who else was on? Rolando Blackman. That was a gritty Knicks team. I remember we used to have like this big rivalry with the Indiana Pacers. And when our games were coming up, they were coming to the Garden. They would start complaining before they got there, talking about how physical we were and the refs need to pay attention. So this team reminds me of that team. We're fighters. It doesn't always look pretty, but we're going to make it happen.
Definitely. And it's crazy that you say that because you brought up Blackman. I forgot all about him. Now, for those who don't know, I'm more so of the Knick fan that came up later on. Like I would say I got that later end stretch of the Ewan days, but my days would normally start from, when Jamal Crawford got over there. We had Nate Robb, going into that end of the stretch, like we still had Latrell Sprewell and all that, but from that end, but my prime was the Jamal Crawford days. Like that was my homecoming to the Knicks, man. I love it. I love it. And just like you said, I feel like this new Knick team that we have now is a mixture of all the teams that came before. It's the toughness of the 90s team. It's that flashiness of the Jamal Crawford era. And now with this three-point shooting and the way we're shooting it now, it looks like the whole Carmelo days when they first got there, that 2012, 2013 year. Like that was one epic run for the ages. If it was it 2013, 2012, 2013, or was it 11 and 12? I think it was 11 and 12.
11 and 12, I think.
Yeah, when they went on that 10-0 run, that 10-0 run to start the season, right?
Right.
That was a beautiful sight. So, as you know, with this series, we got to recap the weeks. We had a dominant week, 3 games. We won all 3. We had we had the Sixers, then we had the Bulls, then we had the Pelicans last night. So we're going to start with the Sixers. What were key things you took out of that game? And what were some things that, you felt like either this person can fix or maybe this rotation can fix?
Well, the 76ers game, I went in that kind of wondering. I said, okay, this is going to be a test for us. Let's see what we can do because, no one has any faith in our team anyway. So, we were going up against Embiid, and I really wanted to see if Mitchell Robinson was going to be able to hold his own, especially since we know he put on all that extra muscle during the time he was out. So my thought process on what happened there was, he still has to get his conditioning, but I believe that with him in the center, we can handle any team that's coming forward. Before, used to get pushed around. They treat him like a rag doll. I was like, you need to beef up a little bit. So now I'm just gonna give him some time to get conditioning. You know, I see he's still a little winded going up and down the court, but I figure by the time we get to the All-Star break, he should be ready to roll.
Yeah.
Um, I'm very, very impressed with our three-point shooting now. You know, we have Fournier and we have Walker. I was a little concerned whether Kemba was going to be able to be the old Kemba. You know, if those knees were going to hold up, but it looks like Kemba came home and he's feeling good. So the only problem I'm having with us right now, that fourth quarter slump we go into. Like
You talking about that late 3-minute end? We can't close out for squat, but we doing it. But it's we got to get better at it because it's
ugly.
ridiculous.
It's ugly when we're doing it. You know what I think we lack? We lack that killer instinct. You know,
Explain.
well, back in the days, you know, if we got a lead, we were just gonna put you to sleep. Like we're gonna step on your neck. We're not gonna, you know, give up. We have a tendency to be friendly and we let you back in the game. I think they're doing a little too much smiling at the other team. I understand that you have friends there, but when you get on the court, there's no friends, you know, and you got to go for the juggler. So if you got a 20-point lead, I'm expecting that you're going to close this out. Not 3 minutes left in the game, and we're going to let them in. We have to tighten up our defense at the end of the game for sure.
Definitely. Like the whole closing out period, and we seen it time and time again. Like we seen it with the Boston game, the first initial game. That should have ended when we lost against the Magic. There was no reason we should have been the only undefeated team right now. Okay, we should be 6-0, not 5-1.
I agree.
6-0.
I agree.
That gets me into the Bulls game, right? Because you've seen how with the Sixers game, we executed the right way. We did what we had to do against Embiid. We shut him down. We showed the fact that, you know, without him, we would rather allow the rest of the team to beat us. So Obviously it didn't happen. We did what we had to do, got that win. That one was clear as day. They never even really had a chance, never even like came back to, you know, really pull the lead in. And then shout outs to IQ, because to break your boy like that,
that was something. That was epic.
Oh my goodness. I had to watch that play like 3-4 times. Like, hold on, hit him again. Hit him again. Hit him one more time. One more time for Jesus. I was like, oh my goodness. But just to have that mentality alone, like I like that alone. You know, going like you said, us being friendly is something that we do need to stop. I've seen it with the Boston game. You know, you got Kemba talking that the other guys on that team is asking them, how come you didn't score this amount of points, that amount of points? That shouldn't matter. You shouldn't even be having a conversation until that clock says 0-0-0 and we won. Like, don't talk to nobody right now.
Exactly. I agree with you.
Definitely.
We're not here to play. We're not here to make friends.
But my one thing before we get to the Bulls side, right? And, you know, coming into my, you know, my whole train of thought of the whole closeouts, how did you feel about the whole video that came out with Julius Randle and Joel Embiid chopping it up on sitting on the bench, all buddy? Because I didn't even know they were that cool. I didn't know any of that. So how do you feel about that? Either, you know, seeing it or just now hearing about it?
First of all, I haven't seen it. I'm surprised. It's okay that they're friends as long as he understands when he hits that court and Embiid is on the court, there's no friendship there. Can't be friends. You know, back in the days, Michael Jordan and all of them, they were all friends too, but not on the court. You know, Michael Jordan was friends with Patrick Ewing, but when we played, it was a bloodbath. You understand? They had that competitive thing, you know, like, yes, you're the best and I want to play you. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And I feel like, you know, just with this new day and age NBA, a lot of people are losing sight of that. And it's taking the competitiveness away, but that's neither here nor there. Our team, we tough, we physical, we bringing it back. Tom know what to do.
I love that.
Definitely. Now, we're getting into this Bulls game, right?
Oh.
This is a game we had. The Bulls go on a 12-0 run. We are now up by 1. This is going back into the whole closeout period, right?
Mm-hmm.
Again, we were up by a great margin and we couldn't seal the deal. We couldn't. Number one, we started slacking with too many turnovers. We started doing too many ill-advised passes that didn't need to happen.
Cross court passes. I don't understand what that's about.
And my thing is this. Have you noticed that when we do these cross court passes, we're throwing them as if we're just, regularly just lobbing something over? Like, bro, if you're going to do that, why are you not flinging it across the court?
Right.
I never
I
understood
agree
that.
with you.
I never understood that.
My biggest problem with that Bulls game in the closeout is I think I love Randall. I love what he's doing for our team, but sometimes I think he tries to force the action, to save us. And he needs to realize that he doesn't have to do that anymore. He has teammates that he can rely on. That's why we brought in Kemba and Fournier, right? To handle that for him. So I think once he gets more comfortable and he realizes that, he has teammates that can handle that rock and that can take care of it for him, he won't force the issue as much. We have to be more careful with the ball. We're not taking care of the ball. I think we get up and we feel like we get a little complacent, and then we start trying to get fancy. We start slacking on the defense. If we play defense from end to end, we would have blew out all of these teams.
Definitely.
We would have won double digits.
I said the same thing to it. And, just to agree with you as well with the whole Randall thing, I thought I was the only one because I was getting chewed out on Instagram.
Me too.
Chewed out. Yeah, like it was like, what do you mean Randall's pressing? He's doing a great job. I said, yes. If you're looking at his stats, cool. But if you're looking at the game itself, we're watching the same game you watching. He is pressing the issue. Once he gets the whole double team, there's no reason to go head attack into the double team to try to force a kick out. That's not the way to go. I get you got the power, but at this point in time in the game, that causes you to, number one, your handles is not fully up to par. Like you have handles, but it's not that tight. So the way you go to do certain things, you're not having full control over the ball. Then on top of that, when you're going at that full speed, going into a double team, sometimes it looks like he doesn't know how to manage his speed when he's doing it. So either sometimes he's going too fast or sometimes he's a little second too late, which causes them easy transitions to get the steal going for them fast break buckets they was getting, which made no sense because it's like, bro, we're up. We're up.
Right. I agree with you 100%. Definitely. I just need him to slow down. You don't have to be our hero every night. We can have a different hero. Every game, we can have a different hero. Our team is just that deep, and you're still going to be the man for us.
And then to come there and end it off, you had the year 3 guy, Mr. 21-year-old, play defense on which he said was one of his favorite players, which I can understand because he is from Canada.
Yes, exactly.
To know that we have a young guy, the youngest guy on the roster, he wants to be all first team defense.
He's on his way.
To sit there and guard his favorite guy, to know that his favorite guy does that same head fake, that same pump fake a lot. And even though, let's go. So shout out Mitch, because Mitch did slide over the help. That did distract him a little bit more. But for RJ to close out, not foul, and really force that air ball, I was like, bro, we got something here. We got something here.
If you notice, there was supposed to be a switch there. And he waved Evan off like, no, I got this.
Yeah, he did, because Evan was about to go catch him. And RJ did one of these. He said,
I got it
real quick.
I got it. But I've always been an RJ Barrett fan. I just think, us as Knick fans, we've been bad for so long that we we want everything to be perfect because we're riding this wave. I don't think we gave him enough time to develop and get his confidence. But he's here now. He's here for sure.
Definitely. I feel like when all right, so with this Bulls game, that was game what, number 5, right? So that's number 5. Going into the whole preseason and then coming into the, a couple of games before, a lot of people feel like, okay, RJ is looking lost in the offense. He's not getting involved. I'm like, you got to remember, this team is deep. So when you have a deep team, some people have to sacrifice, whether it's points, and they have to do something else. So what did he say? He said, okay, y'all worry about scoring. I'm going to get mine when I get it. I'm going to worry about this defense because you
exactly
forget all that. We could score all day. They said, my job, I got to guard the top guy on the team. Do you know how much of a task that is? Yeah, I'm going to go focus on this defense. But then we get the master plan of last night. RJ was out again. 35 points, career high. And then on top of that, not only did he get it in high-key fashion, he got it on a 3-level scorer like basis, and he closed out the game himself. He said, forget that, give me the ball. How do you feel just knowing that we got to witness that? Year 3, 21 years old, he said, you know what, it's time to really push.
You know what? I think it was beautiful, and I'm so happy for RJ because I really believe, like, he's not getting any love. They're not giving this kid any credit for what he does. None whatsoever. Everybody was saying, oh, he's not scoring. Well, he's not going to score as much as he used to. We got Kemba and Evan in the lineup with him. You know what I'm saying? But he's doing all the other things. Defensively, he's incredible. When we played Boston, he shut down Tatum. We got to pay attention to who he's guarding.
Mind you, he did it twice.
Right. So I think it's beautiful. I think he's putting the league on notice. They're not giving him any props, but he's putting the league on notice. I'm here. You're going to have to recognize, what he did last night was incredible. I don't think if RJ didn't play that way, I don't think we have that win. We don't get that W.
And I said the same thing. And the key thing I took away from it, it wasn't even, the whole game itself. It's just watching his post-game interview and how he humbly was just like, yeah, I get we won, but I did horrible on defense. Like he was mad that he did horrible on defense.
He was critiquing himself.
So just to hear a young-minded man like that, because mind you, a lot of people forget, and even with me, sometimes I get so hard on RJ, and I'm like, bro, he's only 21. Like he's the third-year guy, but he's the youngest guy on this roster. Like, bro, you got rookies coming in that's older than you. It's just mind-blowing, man. You just gotta love it.
On top of that, we have to remember, New York is not an easy market to play in. And New York City has a lot of things that could distract you. So for him to be on this team and not be involved in, you don't hear anything about these young players on the Knicks during the off season. They're not involved in a lot of nonsense. We've broken a lot of players that came to New York that weren't able to make it. I used to love J.R. Smith, but he couldn't handle the nightlife,
Yeah,
so these are all things you got to give them credit for, and RJ, he's so humble, he's so respectful. You got to love this kid, and he wants to get better. Definitely. I think he's going to be around for a long time.
Honestly, you got to think about it. If you look at the timeline, right? Randall's like what, 27 now? So prime years, that should go all the way up to the end of his contract. So he should be about 31, 32, probably sign for another 2 year, get him to his like mid 30s, probably 33, 34 max. By that time, RJ will probably just be hitting 27. Like what? So that means we about to get a full length, probably 10 years of a prime out of this kid. Does anybody realize this?
Yes. So I like what the Knicks organization did when they started rebuilding this team this time. Definitely. We needed this, and everybody, we didn't want to be patient. It's like, who are all these young kids? We need to go get a superstar. To be honest with you, when Durant and Kyrie went to the Nets, and they were saying, "Y'all stupid. Y'all should have got this." So we don't want them. We don't want them. This is a team with no egos, which makes it easy for Tibbs to do what he wants to do because nobody's caught up in I have to be the man. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that would have happened if they came. I don't think we would be where we are right now if they came to the Mecca.
Honestly speaking, I feel like if they came to the Mecca, the way, you know, that how things are turning out, how things are looking, and even before, you know, I was mad they didn't come. I'm not gonna sit here and say I wasn't. Like all Knick fans was mad they didn't come. But
not me.
She said, not me. Hey, at least you letting it be known. At least you letting it be known. I mean,
Nope.
The way I look at it is like it's a blessing in disguise because you got all these things going on, Kyrie Irving. But when it comes to that, I still stand on, you know, hey, shout out to him. He fighting for what he believes in. So I got no ill comments to that. At least he's seeing a way through. When it comes to KD, that's the guy I don't respect. I love his game, but the way he's been moving ever since the whole Golden State thing, bro, I don't like you at all, bro. I don't like. I'm glad you didn't come here because just your whole aura moves as if like, bro, I get you're nice, but you're not that guy. Because if you were that guy, you would have found a way to get it done by yourself. You didn't do that yet. You still haven't done that yet. But that's neither here nor there. My main thing that I want to say from out this whole week, and you know, the other games as well, I want to know what's really going through Emmanuel Quickly's mind, because this regression that I'm seeing from the year one, it's like, okay, I know you came into this offseason knowing that you really had to be a bona fide two-way guard. Like, you know what I'm saying? When I say two-way guard, a good combo guard. But I think you're pressing on the fact of the whole being a point guard as well. Like, bro, if you don't gotta be positioned in to be the point guard, you need to just be you. Like, bro, if you're the two guard, go be the old Emmanuel Quickly. Like, you already get green light to shoot from wherever on the court. Be you. Be that same attack and aggressive IQ that I seen. Now, with this week, we got like pieces of it. Like with last night, you started seeing the attacking IQ that drives to the basket. That's the IQ I liked. I was like, okay, he's getting a little bit different. But with my main problem with IQ that I feel, now maybe you may think differently, it's like, and you know, my boy, he definitely said the same thing as well. It's like once he gets past a certain point, like once he gets past this free throw line, he's lost. He don't know whether he want to float it, he want to attack, he want to kick it out. He just gets lost. And I don't understand where that came from, because if you look at all his film from last year, it was like he was precise on every move he wanted to make after he came from either around that screen or broke somebody off the dribble. So I'm just lost on him. I'm just lost. I don't know what's going on with the guy, but how do you feel about IQ so far?
I think he's in his head. You know, he now has Kemba there. He had Derek already, right? He has Kemba there now to help guide him. So I think he's in his head. He hears what they're saying, he's listening, but he has to figure out his own lane. You know, like they can guide you, and it's good to have veterans, but he has to remember who he is and then try to kind of weave in some of the things that they're telling him. You know, but I think he's going to be all right. I think he's going to be all right. I want to see him and Obi flourish at the same time. So I think we're going to get that eventually.
Definitely. And then that goes to speak about Alex Burks as well. Now, with Alex Burks, he's just, you know, he's just a little shaky on the offense right now, but I know that's going to change. What I want to commend him on is his defense. His defense has been looking way better than it was last year, to the point where I can understand now why Tom takes his time to sometimes get RJ back into the game. Because if you really look like, yeah, Alex Burks may not be scoring, but look at how he's defending. We done seen a lot of plays to where he's getting back on defense, ended up with blocks, ending up with missed field goals on their end, stripping the ball, turning that into fast break points. So with this dynamic, it's like, okay, the only two weak links we have so far in our lineups would be IQ and Alex Burks. But the fact of how minor it is, is like what happens when this team still stays the way it is, and then now these two guys start clicking. It's like, oh my gosh.
We're unbeatable. We're gonna be unbeatable. I really believe that. I really believe we will be unbeatable. You
Yeah.
know, and believe me, Quickly's not gonna have any more, that many more games like this where he's not shooting. That's not going to happen much longer. When that shot stops falling, and Alec Burke, him as well. He reminds me of Hubert Davis
Ooh.
in a lot of ways. You know, we have definite shooters, you know, that you can count on. You know, Fournier reminds me of Novocaine.
Wow.
You
Wow.
know, nothing but net. You know what I'm saying? You
But
know, so I see signs. I know we're gonna be great, and believe you, I believe they're scared. People should be
definitely.
scared. We're coming. We're coming. Everybody thought it was a fluke last year. It's not a fluke.
Yeah, we here. And I don't even think that people think it's a fluke. I think people are just upset at the fact that we were able to just to literally just change two people. Like that's all we did. All it took us to do was change two people. Like we need to get Reggie out the loop and we need to get Elfrid out the loop. But the fact that we are doing good, the media has been so pressed on making good numbers off us doing bad. All they know how to do is talk bad about us now. So when we do good, like think about this whole week. We won this whole week. I don't see any media. I don't see no airtime. But when we lost against the Magic, we had blog after clickbait come out sporadically all day. I was like, wow. So when we lose, now y'all want to talk about us. But when we win, you talk about us for a brief moment, and everything else is tailored to this other team. So so the Knicks didn't just beat them. So we talking about them, but we just won. I don't get it. And
I get it.
This is the main reason why, like this 1 week, I had enough of it. I said, you know what? I'm making my own series. Fan tell we're gonna sit here, we're gonna big up our own team. Because whenever they don't sit there and give us no media press, we gonna give the press. That's just how that goes.
You know what? I think the Knicks are a franchise that everybody loves to hate. Think about it. If you look around other arenas, if their teams are doing good, those stands, those seats are not full. Think about the Garden. It doesn't matter how bad the Knicks are playing. It's sold out. The Garden is always sold out, right?
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, the new NBA, nobody believes that you could build a team that's not full of superstars and win, right? So now we have a team. We don't have any superstars. We don't have LeBron. We don't have AD. We don't have all these big NBA names, but we're getting it done. And nobody wants to believe that that can work. But you know, we're New York, so we're about showing people something different. We're trendsetters. We're not followers, right?
Definitely. And then on top of that, just the whole New York mindset is, oh, so you doubted me. Oh, now I'm about to prove you wrong. You done messed up.
Absolutely.
That's the wrong thing you could do to any New Yorker, whether it's baseball, it don't matter what sport, what we doing, you don't doubt a New Yorker. Once you doubt us, it's tenfold. Grind time is on 100. And once we prove it, we're gonna prove that times 10. Like, and then we're gonna invite you over for the success. Like, come on, come join me real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But before we go ahead, right, and end this out, we gotta touch base on Nerlens Noel. This team is doing great without our second anchor, but I'm gonna use some French a little bit. He's kind of pissing me off a little bit to the point where it's like, all right, bro, if you don't come back and start really going in, I'm gonna be the first one to say, yo, you can go. I don't care about your contract. I don't care what you could do, because if we're flourishing like this without you, and then on top of that, I've seen what Jericho Sims can do. You can be replaced. But I don't want to do it because I know what you bring to the table. But this knee of yours, I'm going to need it to get together because I need you in this lineup Taj is getting tired, okay? He's supposed to be the player coach. He's not supposed to be playing, but Taj is doing great. But no, I just need Nerlens Noel to come back ASAP because it's just mind-boggling to me, bro. We're doing great without you. And I hate the fact that the team, like when teams do great without certain players, it kind of like makes it bad for them when they come in. Because not only do you have the pressure of just, okay, I want to do good, I want to prove myself. Now you have the pressure of just trying to keep the same momentum the team has going on and not be the, okay, I'm the reason why we're messing up now. Just, you don't want to have a player messing up with their whole mental. So how do you feel about the whole thoughts with, him being out? How do you even feel? Like, would you get rid of him? Like, you know what, you just got to go. Just
no, I'm not letting him go nowhere. We keeping him.
He said, I'm keeping him.
Yes, we keeping him. We got to give him a break. Right? He carried us the whole time Robinson was out, right? And he was carrying us and he was hurt, So we got to give him some time. I don't think he's in as bad a shape as everybody thinks. I think we're kind of like preserving him a little bit, and we want to let Mitchell get a little conditioning, but it seems like he's soon to be back because he was questionable for our last game. So he's going to come back. Now, once he comes back, I don't know what other teams are going to do with us.
That's the part that gets scary.
So deep.
That's the part that gets scary.
And you cannot close this podcast out without talking about our Showtime, because we haven't had a Showtime person on the Knicks in years, and that is that high flying Obi Toppin.
Go ahead. Matter of fact, I'm gonna let you lead it. Go ahead, because you love Obi.
Like, just watching him is just a beautiful thing. There's not many big men that can run the floor like him, and when he's running that floor, I'm like, everybody, I hope your heads are up. Just see him down there, because whatever he's going to do at that basket is going to be spectacular. And that sets the garden on fire.
Definitely. What I love the most about it is he's not doing what most big men do today. Like, he reminds me, the way he's playing, of course, he reminds me of Mari Stoudemire. But the way he's moving up and down the court and the way his defense has gotten better, he's like a combination of Amari Stoudemire and Sean Marion together. And I've never witnessed that in my life. But this kid here is that.
I agree.
Like, if you really think about it, he's doing it. But it's just also his finishing at the rim has become so graceful, because most big men will always try to go for the slant. He's literally in slow motion. He knows when to slow his pace down to get the roll. Right. He knows, okay, I'm this way, so I could catch it here. It's just beautiful. Like, he's proven why he's the number one, why he was the 8th pick. He's proven why I had to apologize to his whole, his camp and everything. Like, look, man, I know I had my doubts, but yo, you got it, bro. You proved your worth. You got it.
Okay.
You got it.
Oh, you didn't think that he should have won the slam dunk contest? I thought he was robbed.
Oh, no. He should have won that off rip. That I'm not going to say. He got robbed off the rip. I know that much. But last year, he started
on the Knick jersey. He had it on the Knick jersey. That's why they took it from him.
That's a fact. Nobody wanted to see us do good. They didn't even want to see us do good last year. But the key thing with me that was killing me last year was just, like we was talking about earlier, I didn't like the fact that you're going to tell me this kid is the most NBA ready player. We take him at number 8. We really needed help with this guard position, but I guess it's like, it is what it is. So far throughout that season, we had to sit there and trust Leon Rose. Obviously, he did something right because you made up for it with the IQ pick.
Right.
And I'm still like, all right, I'm not sold on this kid yet. Then we get to the second half, going into the later end of it to the playoffs. I said, all right, he got it. Then when I seen him go in the summer league, I said, all right, he got it. That's it. It's over. It's over.
He just needed a chance. He just needed a chance. I think his teammates knew what he was capable of, but he really didn't get a chance to show us. We saw glimpses of it in the Garden, and he bring the house down, but he didn't get enough playing time. But we're going to see a lot of him this season. It's going to be fun.
Definitely. I mean, while we on the topic, might as well. We could definitely end it after this one because it's like we got so many more games to go. It's a great season. I'm definitely gonna have you up here again. So definitely be prepared for that. How do you feel about the small ball lineup with the pairing of him and Randall? How do you feel about that?
I want to see more of that.
Okay, why do you feel that way?
I want to see more of that. When he's on the court with Randall, the pace picks up. You know what I'm saying? He runs the floor very well, and I like that mixture there with the two of them. What Randall's not giving us, he gives. They kind of play well off of each other. I think they balance each other out well.
Definitely. I think the thing I like the most about it is once you actually do that small lineup and depending, I don't even really think it's like what the key to success of that lineup is really depending on who is your one and your two with them. Because if you look at how that plays up when you got D Rose with them, it's moving a little faster.
Yes.
When you got Kimber with them, it's more so strategic. So it's like I like the difference. It's like Tom is more so depending on how I need y'all to move with this lineup, I know which guard to send out. But then when he does that whole letting IQ be the guard for them, it's straight. All right, that's the Showtime lineup. Like, get ready because you might see a highlight or two pop up.
I like that lineup when we're playing older teams. I like that lineup when we're playing older teams because, first of all, I don't think there's any team that has a bench as deep as ours.
Nope.
So if you're playing an older team, by the time they get to the third or fourth quarter with us, they're out of gas. We're just getting started. Definitely. This is going to be a very interesting season. They're not really giving us a chance to even finish in the top 5 in the East. I think we're going to make liars out of them. I know we are.
Definitely. I still stand, strong on my first thing before the season started. We cracking 50 plus wins this year. It's going down. It's going down.
Absolutely. They're talking about, the Wizards are 5-1, but nobody wants to talk about the Knicks. Oh, they had an easy schedule. It wasn't that Boston? That's not an easy team. Philly's not an easy team. Chicago? What are we doing?
Anything, Chicago had the easy schedule. That's how they started off with the 4-0 break, and we gave them the first L. They didn't get no real competition until we came around.
Nobody was putting any pressure on them.
Thank you. Because look at it. They whole big three, right? When it came to us, did great. But the crazy thing is, if you look at the odd man out, Lonzo, we got into his head. Randall was in Lonzo's head and messed up his whole game, even to the point where D Rose started getting into Alex Caruso's head, messed up his game.
Exactly.
Now, since we on this topic, look, y'all, I'm sticking up for Mitchell Rob. He didn't mean and he didn't sit there and hurt Patrick Williams on purpose because if you notice, Patrick Williams was still in the game. Nobody knew that Patrick Williams dislocated his wrist until later on. So all you Bulls fans that's going crazy, I got to stop with that because that's a little bit too much. Nobody on this team is trying to hurt anybody, especially not. No. Man been injured since forever. Why would he do that to somebody else?
No, he didn't do that. But this reminds me of that team I was telling you about. How teams used to complain before the game, before a week before the game. Oh, we got the Knicks this week. Oh, I hope the refs are there. They're very physical. They play dirty. They this, that. No, we just play hard. Definitely. And not for nothing, the NBA has gotten a little soft. Buck up, people. We here.
New rule changes that they're doing. They're trying to bring it back. Shout outs to the Olympics because the Olympics exposed why we needed to go back. Because we wasn't getting everybody in the Olympics. The refs was looking at us like, "Oh, I was supposed to call that? Go down the court, go play." Like, I'm not
right. I agree. You got to toughen up, and if you come into the Mecca, you got to toughen up. We playing. We're going to put a body on you. You're not just going to run around the court and do what you want to do anymore. Those days are gone. We're going to stop you.
Hey, you said it best. Just know when y'all come to this side and y'all play the Knicks, y'all better be ready. Y'all better be tough, physically minded, because if not, dog walk. Because we what? We the big dogs.
That's right.
It's been super lit. I thank you for being the first guest on the Fan to Fan Talk series, Miss Pamela.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course, you're welcome anytime. If anything, again, you know how it goes. Before we get out of here, just give me a quick prediction. What's your score for tomorrow's game against the Raptors?
123, 109.
I like that. So y'all heard it, folks. Y'all heard it first from her. 123, 109. Knicks win against the Raptors tomorrow. Let's just go ahead and make it 6-1. We lit. Get in tune. And on top of that, for those who don't know, that game is at 7:30. Okay, it is at 7:30. So make sure y'all prepared. Y'all got y'all drinks. Y'all got y'all food and snacks, and y'all got everything on Do Not Disturb because we need to watch this game together. We need to watch this game together.
Absolutely.
Other than that, it's your guy Dope the Phenom, aka Trippy OG, whichever you prefer. Again, I want to thank Miss Pamela for joining us today. Another one on Fan to Fan Talk. Stay tuned. New series. Going to be dropping every Sunday. Recap of a week. Let's just wonder who's the next guest. I'll see y'all soon.